Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about RDW stock. That's one of my stocks in focus. Bitcoin, I'm keeping an eye on it just to see how it moves today. It's down $1,400. So I'm wondering if it's going to tank or if it's just going to be a fake out again and then we bounce. So we'll see what happens. Redwire is on my radar here. It is discounted from highs. Let me see. Let me just check here. Yeah, it's kind of like RDW is kind of like ONDS, but both hit a high of 15, then dropped real quick. They're very volatile, so you have to have good timing, and you have to have a stop loss. You can't just throw money around blindly. Okay, yeah, it's still inside this bullish falling wedge. That's what I was watching. That's what I was watching for. The bullish falling wedge here. I'm wondering if the bullish falling, if this is going to play out still, then we should see this come down to trendline support. We do have support right here at $8. So $8 with a stop loss at the low of the day, assuming we don't tank tomorrow, would be good for a starter position. If not, if we tank, then we just take the $15 loss, right? No big deal. We don't want to end up looking like Joey Shaw, right? We buy and then we hold the bag all the way down if it doesn't work out. That's especially because we don't know. This is a risky stock. It's not Nvidia. It's not SoundHound. It's on the riskier side of things. So I would say it's up there with BBAI, but better. BBAI kind of hasn't really done anything. It hasn't really gotten any significant pumps. It's been good. BBAI has been very good for flipping, but it just, without government contracts, it's going to start tanking. And that's kind of useless. We can't make money if BBI is going to continue to tank. So we need to be trading, ONDS, RDW. We need to be trading stocks like BBAI that get contracts and then surge higher. And we take advantage of those pump and dumps. We make our money, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But we can't do that with BBAI. So I've had to move on to ONDS and RDW. More specifically, I'm interested in RDW here because of that. That's a bullish falling wedge on the weekly. That is an insane pattern to see on such a big time frame. This is weekly. As you can see very clearly, you don't want to be buying anywhere near the highs. You buy near the highs, you're asking to hold the bag all the way down. So that's kind of what's going on there. So I think $8 would be a good opportunity here. Let me draw the horizontal line. And just as an announcement, I forgot to make the announcement, there is a PDF free to download in the description below if you want to check it out. It talks about my strategies, how I alert, etc., etc. So yeah, we got support here on the weekly. If that doesn't hold, we would come down to 5, which would be a big level. Yeah, 5 to 550 would be the next level. So we got two. What does this mean? This means we have two opportunities. We have two opportunities here to time the bounce off of the horizontal support and the trendline support. And we can have good risk to reward ratio. The biggest mistake people make is they go all in because they're afraid they're going to miss out. They go all in, usually at highs, and then it tanks, and then they hold a big bag. That's the usual strategy. But no, we're looking to do the opposite, especially in this kind of market. This is the kind of market where you have to have good timing. You got to have good timing. Without good timing, you end up like Joey Shaw, right? Like you just end up destroyed and hoping that, hey, it's going to work out for me, which you don't want to be in that position. So, oh yeah, by the way, Joey Shaw's angry because I was supposed to live stream yesterday at like 9 a.m. I'm not a morning person. I'm really not. I'm more of an evening person, but for some reason he can't do streams late at night or at night period in the evening. But yeah, so he's angry because I wasn't on time, punctual, whatever. And I kind of just told him, like, that's just stupid. You can't be mad at someone, not showing up on time. That's just, that I am all about not being punctual. So just a little story there of what's going on, the Discord drama, I guess. Anyways, RDW, red wire, look for $8 buy, stop loss at the low of Tuesday. And then if we come down to $5, I would, again, then we're going to look for the low of that day. Okay, so we're looking to pick the lows of that day and set a stop loss there. If it's truly the bottom, we shouldn't get stopped out, right? ONDS, we bought at 11, took a $15 loss because it wasn't the bottom. It had to hold there at around 10 to 11. If it did hold, we would make money on the way back up to 12, 13, 14, 15. Because these stocks like Redwire, BBI, ONDS, when they get going, they can move quite a bit. But unfortunately, if a stock like BBI isn't getting contracts, if a stock doesn't get contracts, period, it just starts dying off. Look at color as an example. So that I'm basically teaching you how to trade stocks that require contracts to get moving. Without contracts, this is what happens. If RDW, BBI, or ONDS stopped getting contracts, this is the future right here, right? It just starts tanking and tanking and tanking, and then it does a reverse split, and it just continues to tank, and how are you going to make money off of this if it just keeps tanking? You can try and time the pops when it finds a support level, but I mean, you're just making your life harder. Might as well just trade ONDS and buy the dip, and then it gets another pump. Buy the dip, it gets another pump. Buy the dip. It's so much easier to do that. Or play the bullish falling wedge, which either way, you're buying the dip, right? You're not buying up here, you're buying the dip. You're buying the crash after it hits the top of the trend line. You're buying the trend line support or at horizontal key levels. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm showing you. Because these stocks that get government contracts, the only way to make money off of them is to take advantage of the pump and dumps, and you got to position yourself accordingly. But you also have to be able to recognize, like, wait a minute, the behavior of this stock it's different, it's changed. It's time to walk away. And if you guys have been watching my BBAI videos, which I don't make anymore because it's been behaving like trash. Meanwhile, ONDS and Redwire were getting pumps. BBAI has changed its behavior. What is it at? $4? So you got to be able to see that. Let me pull up BBAI. Yeah, being able to recognize, like, hey, this thing isn't behaving like it used to, right? It used to come down to the purple line, right? And we would get the pump, right? Look at that, purple line touch, pump, purple line, pump, 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 pump. Here, we made money, a lot of money on all these pumps, all the times it came here to this purple line. And now it's not behaving like that. Now it's just, it went sideways here around the purple line, then it tanked. And I told so many people, I'm like, I would just stay away from it, because this can go down to like $4, then $3, then $2. And if it goes down to 1, then the reverse split becomes a threat. So as of right now, I think Redwire and ONDS are the way to go. Again, that bullish falling wedge is the big play right now. It's also at the weekly purple line, as you can see right here. It's at the weekly purple line. So technically should be a strong signal, because that purple line on the weekly time frame did act as support here and here. So we'll see if buyers do show up this week, specifically looking for Tuesday. Let me look at the monthly time frame. Yeah, it's still the bullish falling wedge on the monthly. Quarterly looks terrible. On the quarterly, it looks like garbage. So this is what I mean. Like, you gotta have good timing, and you gotta have a stop loss. You gotta start using strategies, entry strategies like the forgot the name of the strategy. Oh, how can I forget the name? The strategy starter positions. You got to get used to adding starter positions. You don't want to go in with 50K and then it dumps. Better to go in with 100 shares, take the $15 loss, and reposition. So, yeah, on the quarterly it looks terrible. Yearly it looks terrible too. Honestly, it does. 2 red years, 2 green years, 1 red year, another year where it's starting to turn red. So we're going to have to play the timing game on that weekly bullish falling wedge. That's about it. I don't think I see anything else. That is it for RDW at least. We'll go over other plays as well. But yeah, That's RDW. Let me see, what else do I have? Because I'm looking for new plays. I've been abusing Riot Stock. Riot Stock's been a moneymaker. It's always been my moneymaker since 2023, I think. That's kind of when I realized, like, wait a minute, Riot Stock just follows Bitcoin and it just goes sideways. So I can just keep buying and it just goes up. As long as I'm buying under 20, I'll be fine because it always comes back at least to 20. But I'm pretty confident I need a new BBAI, so to speak. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, like, we were trading BBAI a lot, and now we can't because it's behaving like garbage. So right now, I'm doing research today, like trying to figure out, like, hey, what's the next BBAI? What's the next stock that gets government contracts and gets big pumps, and we can just abuse the hell out of it, really. So RDW and ONDS, top candidates. I'll have to do research into other ones. Like I said, if a stock starts dying off, no matter how many contracts it gets, it doesn't matter. If it's just dying off, you just want to stay away from it. Nightscope is another a perfect example of a stock that gets government contract. This whole video, this whole stream is really, let's talk about government. Let's talk about stocks that get government contracts and talk about the different behaviors, really. But you can see Nightscope, it just keeps tanking. Literally, long term, it just keeps going down like color. It gets contracts, it gets these big pumps along the way as it keeps going lower to new lows. But do you really want to trade this? Why trade this when you can trade ONDS, when you can trade RDW, we can trade something that has a pattern you can abuse, or that's easier to trade because it's going sideways or trending to the upside, right? It's easier to trade a stock that gets government contracts that's trending to the upside because it just keeps going up over the long term anyways. So, like Nightscope, I remember, I think it was Nick in the Discord. He doesn't like being called MAGA Nick, so I'm just going to call him good old Nick. But yeah, Nick in the Discord, he bought Nightscope, and as soon as he bought, I was like, wait a minute, if you're buying and you're a rookie in the markets, then I need to sell and not buy ever again. And I was right to do that because it just kept tanking at that point. So always use rookies as a good indicator to stay away from a stock. Let me see. So yeah. APOD, does that get government contract? I don't think so. This is an incredible stock. People are sleeping on this. I am so confident that APOD is going to go to 100 in the bull run because the behavior of this stock reminds me of Palantir. Palantir, I think it's even better than Palantir. I'll even go a step further and say it's better than Palantir. And the reason it's better than Palantir is because when everything was crashing, Palantir went from $45 to $5. And I can show you that. I guess this just became an APOD stream, but you can see in the past when we crashed really hard, it went from $45 to $5.84. That was the bottom, and then it went from 5 to 200. But the funny thing is, notice the difference. Palantir did not hold above the purple line. It tried and then eventually tanked. In fact, right now, as we speak, it's under the purple line. Palantir is under the purple line for the first time. It's staying and holding under the purple line since way back in the bear market of 2022. So it's been 4 years, and this thing is under the purple line. You look at APOD, and it's kind of crazy when you think about the fact that it's still holding. It's not only holding up above the purple line. It's not only holding up above it, but it's pretty extended above it too, right? If you measure it here, it's 33% extended above the purple line. That is crazy to think about. When you see all this crashing and this stock is still getting a lot of love that's holding it up, I think this is a sign of strength. You know, people might see it as a sign of weakness because it's just going sideways. It's technically been going sideways since October. Since the crash started in October, what's been happening with this stock? Technically speaking, it's just stuck in a box long term. It hasn't really gone anywhere. There are opportunities if you buy near the purple line, and then it pumps off of it, right? And it kind of looks like an ascending triangle. We'll do not the due diligence. We'll do the technical analysis right now. But that's the thing that I find crazy is that Palantir, when everything was crashing, it couldn't hold above the purple line, and it tanked really hard to $5. Meanwhile, APOD, everything's crashing, and this thing is holding up above the purple line, 30% extended above the purple line, and it's been going sideways. I think APOD, and I think I said this before, I think it's the king of its sector, and people don't realize it. I think it's the next NVIDIA in terms of how it behaves. You look at NVIDIA, and you're going to see something very interesting. NVIDIA, since October, well, not even since October, since July, not even since October, since July, it's been stuck in a box. It's been stuck in a box. It's still above the purple line, but barely holding on. Barely. You can see right now, it's barely holding on above that purple line. Barely holding on for dear life there. But I would say this is still a sign of strength. There's a lot of stocks that are under the purple line. A lot of them are under the purple line. So the fact that this is holding up is a sign of strength, right? If this was weak, it would have tanked already to 150, 140, 130 like Palantir, but it didn't. It's still being held up by buyers. And so that brings me to APLD. The fact that APLD is behaving like this, it's behaving like NVIDIA, it's holding up above the purple line by 30%. It's actually holding up way more above the purple line than NVIDIA. NVIDIA is literally like about to tank under that purple line if it doesn't hold this week. APLD is still up here, holding up very well. And I could see this breaking out to 50. I still think that we will see 50. I think it's going to happen. I believe that very strongly. But we still have to respect that markets can still continue crashing, especially with Bitcoin today. Is it down 2K? Or it's down $1,200. We'll see. It does look like it's getting ready to come down. We'll see. We'll see. Bitcoin, unfortunately, if it doesn't hold, it's just going to drag everything down with it. So we got to keep an eye on it. But with regards to APLD, despite everything crashing, this is holding up so well. I don't see how it doesn't hit 100 very easily in the bull run. Because right now there's a lot of people just sitting on the side with cash, right? All this selling pressure is because people are scared. Because nobody wants to be in the markets when everything's tanking. Which I know which is stupid, right? Think about that for a second. People sell because they're scared because they don't want to be in the stock market when everything is getting discounted. And good morning to, I can't even read that, two-wheel pursuits. For a second I thought that said two-wheel biscuits. That would have been funnier. I've never heard of two-wheel biscuits. But shout out to two-wheel pursuits. Good morning to you. But yeah, APLD, as I was saying, and I will continue to say and pound the table on this. If you want to make a lot of money in the future, in my opinion, not a financial advisor, I think it's APLD. I think you just dollar cost average into APLD and you will win long term. Because we are going to need the infrastructure, data centers, whatever, power, whatever you want to call it. It's a necessity. That's it. It's like the internet. And it's not even for us to use. It's for well, technically it is for us to use, but it's for the robots to use. It's for the machines to use. It's for the AI to use. And obviously we use it to our benefit, to make things and to make our life easier. That's really what technology has always been. It's been about making our life easier, right? So I don't even use Google anymore. I just use Gemini or Grok, and I just ask them questions and they do all the research for me and spit out an answer. That's so much easier than me going one by one trying to, figure everything out, doing research, hours of research sometimes. So technology has always been this way, but we need a lot of power now because AI eats up a lot of power. So I think people are still sleeping on this. APLD, I think dollar cost average, hold for 50 and then 100. That's my opinion. Could be wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm insane. But there's just too many signs of strength here. I don't know who's buying that keeps holding this stock from falling below the purple line. It hasn't gone under the purple line, mind you. The last time it was under the purple line was way back in March 7 of 2020. Almost a year ago was the last time that APLD stock went under the purple line. And the funny thing is, when it did go under the purple line to a low of $3.30, that was nothing more than opportunity. So I'll leave it at that. I think APLD is it's gonna be a winner long term. Like if you only have 10K to throw at something, I think dollar cost average into APLD. For now, short term, I'm waiting to see if it comes down to 30 and under. I still have the puts. I have two puts for $31 strike or 31.50 strike. So I'm kind of just waiting to see if I get filled on that. But unfortunately, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I want this cheaper. I want this lower, and I think we can get it cheaper if Bitcoin's going to drag everything down again. Yeah, so this kind of does look like an ascending triangle on the weekly. So we would expect a breakout in the future. We'll see if that actually plays out. But if it's going to follow this pattern, we should see it come down to at least 30 again. And keep in mind, when this thing tanks, it tanks pretty damn hard. But it's also an opportunity. On the monthly time frame, this looks like a bull flag. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks like an insane monthly bull flag. Like this is, look at the pole and the flag, and I don't know. That's crazy to see on such a big time frame. Quarterly time frame, we just keep having quarter after quarter of green. Yearly time frame, we're trending. Again, this reminds me we just got the crossover on the white. Oh my God, we just got the white line crossing the yellow line on the yearly. Wow. Yeah, keep an eye on this one. I think this is a winner long term. I'll leave it at that, guys. We'll move on to the next stock that I'm going to analyze here. Let me just read the chat here. What are we saying? Bitcoin does seem to be a leading indicator of markets. Yeah. There's a story I have for you, Two Wheel Pursuits. I've never heard of you. I've never seen you in the streams, but yeah, there was a Discord member, patreon.com/shadingtrades. Trucker Jeff in the Discord. He went to, he drives a truck for a living, so he's trading because he wants to get out of driving a truck. And let me move that up. Yeah, he's driving a truck and he wants to get out of doing that, right? So he started trading, and he went to IHOP. In October, I believe it was in October, he went to IHOP, and he heard like a teenager tell his dad, "Hey, I bought Bitcoin, I bought crypto." And as soon as he heard that in October at an IHOP by some random teenager, Trucker Jeff, right then and there, he knew like, oh no, this is bad. If regular people are just throwing money at the markets right now, we're probably going to tank. He had a bad feeling in his gut, and he was, correct. We tanked, right? Bitcoin tanked. So I mean, look where we are now. So that's the story there. It's a leading indicator. That's why I keep an eye on it. If people don't want to hold Bitcoin, you're going to see everything else come down. So you see the bull flag, right? RKOB sure ran up since last year. Rocket Lab. Yeah, I've heard of RKOB, but I think it's super overextended, no? If I recall. Oh, no. This is basically like APLD. It just comes down to the purple line, rallies, purple line, rallies. It's actually going to give you an opportunity to buy the purple line again. So not a bad idea here. I don't know where you'd set a stop. You would probably want to buy and set a stop at the low of the day. If it takes you out, reposition. Yeah, because if it doesn't hold here at the purple line is at 61. If it doesn't hold at the purple line, then it'll come down to 50, which is a nice big round level. So there would be, your buying opportunity for RKOB would be 60 and then 50 in my opinion. Let me look at the weekly time frame. Holy crap, it just keeps trending to the upside. We love stocks like this. It is on my watch list, but I think the reason I don't trade it is because it's $60. I'd rather trade something cheaper, like, right? It's kind of like, what, a fifth of the price? Monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, any red month has been opportunity. Quarterly time frame is showing a top, which looks terrible. Yeah, I would be very cautious because it has gone up a lot. It has gone up a lot. Let me grab my measurements here. What was the bottom on this? $3.47. It's already ran 4,000. Yeah, I would be careful. That is so. When the purple line has made such a big move like this, and the price as well, yeah, I mean, the purple line itself moved 1,666%. So the average, I want you to think of it this way. The average of the price has moved 1,666%. That's a lot. So I would expect this to actually go under the purple line and tank. That's what I would expect after such an extension. Well, yeah, basically like Palantir, right? You would expect it to do a Palantir, which Palantir right now, it tanked really hard. It hit a high of 200, and now it's at 130s, right? Probably headed to 100. So that's kind of like what I'm seeing here. It's done. It just did its Palantir move. Went from $4 to $9.99. and we would expect this to tank pretty damn hard. And it would give you, but it would be opportunity. It would be opportunity because you can buy the big dip, right, and play the recovery. I don't know anything about the stock behind the scenes. I don't know its revenues or anything. I don't know what it does, but if it has growing revenues and it's performing well on earnings and all that, I mean, this is just nothing more than a buy opportunity. So yeah, I would look for 60s and then 50, nice round number. Is this a space stock? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know the stock at all. I just remember adding it to my watch list because it has that purple line, that beautiful purple line bounce off of anytime it comes down to it. Let me move my, there we go. Because I got 4 screens. Let me just move this over here. Stop buying that crypto, Joey Shaw. Dude, Joey Shaw is angry. I was supposed to live stream with him and Nick, MAGA Nick, quote unquote. And I overslept, so he's like pissed. And I told him, I'm like, why are you mad that I overslept and didn't show up for the live stream? Like, why are you mad that I'm not punctual? I'm never going to be punctual. I'm not a punctual person. This is why I work DoorDash, because I didn't have to be punctual. I can just show up at night, because I like delivering at night, late at night, delivering for DoorDash back 5 years ago. It was fun. There's no cars. You go to McDonald's, Burger King, not Burger King. You go to McDonald's, Taco Bell, or the pizzerias late at night, and you're just going to deliver it to someone that's like probably drunk and very hungry. And they tip pretty well around here. So you can make, hundreds of dollars, like just driving around from, I would say, from 12 to 4 a.m. But you can start at 10 p.m. if you want to, squeeze a little more money per hour. So I'm not a punctual person. I'm never going to be punctual. But this guy's kind of like delusional. He thinks people are just going to, he thinks everyone's supposed to be 100% punctual all the time. Hell no. Hell no. This is why I got into trading. I got into trading because I don't want to be punctual. I want to wake up whenever I want. I want to go to sleep whenever I want. I want to trade whenever I want. So, yeah. So he's like super pissed. And I'm just like, bro, you're being a child. Like, you're being an idiot. Like, you're 50 almost and you're getting upset because someone's not punctual. I'm never going to be punctual. Never. Like, that's just not even in me to be that way. Why? I hated school. I liked school because girls. I hated school because I had to wake up every morning to get on the bus because I had to be punctual. Really, and in the winter you had to stand outside and wait. So it sucked. So yeah, that's kind of the story of Joey Shaw. He's a very angry old man right now. Maybe he'll grow up and learn that you have to accept how someone is. You can't force someone to be someone they are not. I have friends who are not punctual. I accept them for who they are. I do not get angry and go, oh no, my friends aren't punctual. I'm done talking to you. I'm going to be angry for a whole week because you are not punctual. Like, screw that. We got better things to do than to be angry. So he'll have to learn that lesson, or he's just very dumb. And he's someone who claims to be very smart. So we'll see what happens. He posted in the Discord, I'm going to take a week off because Shades isn't punctual. So that's like the drama, quote unquote, that's going on. But really, it's just an old man that needs to learn. Like, he just needs to learn to be like accepting of how others are. You just got to accept people for who they are and what they do and what they're about. If somebody needs me, I won't be around for at least a week. Lack of consistent punctuality pisses me the fuck off. I'm going to go cool off. Enjoy your week. So he's taking a whole week off just because I didn't show up, because I'm not punctual. And I'm just like, bro, yeah, that's just, you're almost 50. I learned to be accepting of people, even if they're not punctual ever. I learned to be accepting of people back in my 20s, mid-20s. Like, and you're almost double the age. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. I thought that was ridiculous. But maybe I'm crazy. Anyways, that's the story with Joey Shaw. Let me read the chat. Retail is buying the dip. It's a space stock, like SpaceX. Y'all think we will be bullish tomorrow? Tomorrow? I think we're going to go sideways. That's just kind of been the pattern. We tank, go sideways, tank, go sideways, tank, go sideways. So we tank, and then the market kind of has to decide, like, what the hell are we going to do again? Oh, let's tank again. Wait, what are we going to do again? And then let's tank again. Oh, what are we going to do again? And we'll see. I think 50K is the last like number we go to before we bottom. Like I think this is the bottom, but we're gonna poke 50K. We're gonna go down to 50K just to scare some people, and then we'll rally from there. That's my prediction. Yo, I was about to ask about the live stream. Anytime, yo. Yeah, Save the Skies. Yeah, I overslept, and I already told you, Joey Shaw is like super angry, which again, I think that's just dumb. Like, come on, man. Life is short. You can't be just getting angry and then take a week off because you're so angry or whatever. Like, come on. Like, you let it get to you like that, that's kind of silly. Especially for someone like that's like, what, almost 50. You would think he would have learned already. Like, you got to be accepting. Like, I have a friend who like, he goes to the gym with me, but sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he just doesn't feel like it, or like, and it sucks to sit there waiting for him to make up his mind. Yes, but I accept that that's how he is. It's not something to be angry about. Let me put it that way. He said, "Angry old man." I mean, he does have the gray stubble. Agentic AI greater than SAS. SoundHound AI is a market disruptor, even though it sold off with everything else. Yeah, I am in SoundHound. I'm just going to sit on it. That's really all you can do as everything continues to tank. Still in Chicago? Yes, I am still in Chicago. I did not move to Minnesota. It's cold as hell in both states anyway, so I decided to stay here. And I'm going to renovate my room. My office is just it just looks like garbage, but I'm adding a brick wall on one of the rooms, the office, and I'm gonna start streaming. Have a nice little background. I'm gonna actually start showing my face and everything. I'm gonna take it next level. I'm gonna make it a nice little office here. Because if you saw my room right now, it looks ugly. Like the cable management is terrible. I have a extra bed laying in here for no reason. I have a really ugly, like it just looks, this is also the cat room. Like there's like 3 bridges and some steps for the cats to climb up to the window and look outside. So and the walls aren't painted. I have not painted the walls in like 15 years. So the walls are really just ugly. So I'm just going to cover it in fake panels, brick panels. I already bought them. They're being delivered today, so I'll probably put them on the wall today, is what I'm thinking. But maybe, probably not. I'm not punctual. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, is what I'm thinking. So we're going to take it next level here with the streams, with the videos. I'm going to be standing in front of the brick wall with a wireless mic and just talking into it, kind of do the whole Jim Cramer thing, where I just stand in front of the camera and just talk and move my hands around and bow my head and do all that crazy movement. Because I had to study Jim Cramer. I'm like, wait. He stands in front of a camera and all he does is just, he has a little clip on mic and all he does is just move around his hands and he's very animated, which is kind of what you have to do, right? If I'm going to be on camera, I have to be animated. So I kind of had to study Jim Cramer. So if I start acting like really crazy, that's kind of what you're supposed to do if you're in front of a camera, is what I noticed, at least from studying Jim Cramer. So yeah, we're going next level here. I'm tired of making videos where it's just charts. Let's go next level. We can do more. RKLB is getting bid from the Space Talk. What Space Talk? I'm unsure whether to cut my 7 shares of IonQ loose tomorrow. It'd be a $150 loss, which isn't too bad compared to the gains I made in metal stocks. I could see it coming back to 40, then dropping. IonQ. Let me look at IonQ. Yeah, the quantum sector, without any hype, it's kind of like stocks with government contracts. Without any government contracts, a stock that relies on government contracts to keep the share price up is just not. It's just either going to go nowhere or it's going to start tanking. So pretty much the same thing. Quantum stocks are not going to pump until the hype comes back into them. When the hype comes back, then you'll see them pumping. I think quantum stocks, you really don't want to be. You can buy them right now if you want to buy them with a big bet that it's going to recover. But I think the safest way to play quantum stocks is just to play it when the hype comes back, right? Because it makes it easier for you. Like, the hype is back, it's pumping, you can just buy and it keeps going up. And I can show you that, Thunderbird. So it's up to you what you want to do. But this stock, IonQ, was at $6. The quantum hype showed up, and what happened? It just kept going up to a high of 54. So once the hype comes in, that's when you really want to take advantage. It hit a low of 17. The hype came back, sent it to 84. and then the hype died, and there's no hype right now, so it's kind of it's kind of, I think it's easier and safer to wait for the hype to come in and then buy it, because at least you have the momentum to the upside. So yeah, because if you're buying right now, you gotta wait for the hype to come back, and if the hype don't come back, it's just gonna keep going down. So it's up to you what you want to do. It might form a double bottom here. I don't know, but I mean, I don't even know if I want to buy here. It wouldn't be a bad idea to buy here at 34 with a stop loss. So it would have to be a $5 stop loss probably, because you would be setting it at the low $5 stop loss. You would probably only want to buy 20 shares just as a starter. No, 10 shares. 10 shares as a starter position, then pile on if we actually hold up the double bottom, and look for that crossover. But yeah, I'm not going to touch quantum stocks. I was going to buy at the purple line up here, but I kind of just had this feeling like, you know what, it's just better to wait for the hype to come back to it. So yeah, it broke down on a descending triangle as well, if I recall. Yeah. It's on my other account that I don't check daily. The data centers in Space Talk really sent Rocket Lab to the moon. Yeah, dude, quantum stocks have tanked. I've been buying RGTI slowly. So yeah, that's another thing you can do. You can dollar cost average into IonQ or Rigetti or any of the quantum stocks. Again, if you're dollar cost averaging into quantum stocks, you are betting that in the future there will be another massive hype cycle, and it's not a bad bet, because quantum stocks, they have no hype. It tanks. Then the hype comes back up and it runs to the moon. So it's not a bad bet. Am I going to make that bet? No, I'll just wait for the hype to come back and chase with stop loss. Good point. I got it. Pray and wait. LOL, pray. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. You kind of have to sit there and hope. Like, you better hope that the quantum hype comes back, because if it dies off, you're going to see these quantum stocks tank to like $1. Then IonQ, wasn't it at $1 or something crazy? Yeah, you can see in the past, quantum. Do you see this? IonQ hit a high of $35 back in 2021. Then the hype died and it went down to $4. So, so just wanted to show you that, like, if the quantum hype does not come back, you are asking to hold a big bag all the way down to $3, and then you just better hope it gets. That you just better hope, like, you really better pray that it gets the quantum hype back, pumps huge enough to come back up for your average. That's another thing. So I think it's better to play it when the hype is and momentum is on your side, rather than trying to, dollar cost average. But you do what you got to do. Just be very careful, because in the bear market of 2022, it did send it down to as low as under 10. That's crazy. That's a pretty big steep drop. Yeah, Wall Street will provide the motion ticket all higher at some point. Dude, I think the future is robots in space because humans are too fragile. I think robots and space are a good bet. I'll say that much. Wow, what time is it? 39? Oh, I can still stream for another 10 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm going to drink. Yeah, I'm going to drink some water here. Starting to get a little dry.
Hey Shades, Joey Shaw here, all in on 2026.
Oh my god, there was no sound. There was no sound. I was just talking this whole time for nothing. I was telling you guys a story about this one time. Okay, but anyways, what I was saying is QQQ looks ready to tank. SPY looks ready to tank. We have divergence here on the MACD and the RSI on the daily time frame. So we would expect this to tank. QQQ looks ready to drop too. The technology sector, same thing. It looks ready to tank as well. So, yeah, in the technology sector, if that rolls over, everything just comes down. So yeah, that's kind of yeah. And if you believe in the theory that, like I do, that Bitcoin is a leading indicator, then I mean Bitcoin's already tanked quite a bit. So if SPY's gonna follow, SPY's gonna tank a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not looking good. Like this week could be terrible. Let's hope not, but yeah. This is a bear market, so we don't know how low we're gonna go. But I do believe 50K will be the bottom. If 50K doesn't hold, that would be shocking. That would be shocking for me. Because historically speaking, let's go to where's the bear market of 2022? Where's the bear market of 2022? So in the bear market of 2022, we dropped from 70 to, what was it, 16? 13, god damn, I forgot about that. Yeah, so in the bear market of 2022, we dropped 80%. From 71,000 to 13,000. Right? Everyone thinks it's the end of the world. Oh no. And then we go from 13,000 to 126,000 in the bull run. And here we are again. If this is going to drop 80% like last time. Oops. Let me get rid of the RSI since I don't really care about that one. Yeah, if we drop 80% again, we would come down to like 25 to 30K. So if we don't hold 50K, then we're going to hit that same target as last time. 80% from high to low, and then we bottom out. That sucks because that means we have a lot of downside still to go. Number one. Number two, that means stocks still have a lot of downside too. That means you're going to see a lot of SoFi come down to like 15, 13. You're going to see a lot of stocks tank. If it's going to follow the same pattern as last time, yeah. So it's going to be very important that we hold 50K. Yeah, does not look good. Shout out to Gabrielle. Thanks, bud. Reversal candle. It's possible all the big money players on the E-list are pulling and heading for the hell's never to return. If they like Bitcoin at 126K, they really like it at 52. Yeah, this looks terrible. I'm looking at the monthly time frame, and yeah, if it doesn't hold 50 to 60, we are coming down the whole 80% then, because that's insane. Yeah, we come down to 25 to 30s. That's because this is a big level right here. Like this is a huge monthly support. If a monthly support does not hold, we're coming down ugly. Holy crap, that is insane. That is bad. This is a huge threat. Because that means even though we bought cheap, we could still end up 50% down. I want you to think about that. Okay, like imagine buying Bitcoin right now at 60K, thinking, hey, this is 50% off from 130K, and then we dump another 50%. Like that's the problem. That's a threat in the sense that do you really want to hold 50% down? I don't. So if we still got more downside like this, I might as well just wait and let it come down and then buy. Right? I already bought plenty, and I'm already down 50% on some stocks. But that's kind of to be expected, right? I mean, you're not adding hoping it goes up. You're adding hoping it goes up and recovers in the bull run. But I think I'm going to hold off on buying then if we don't hold that. If we don't hold 50 to 60, it's just going to People are going to be like, oh my god, another month of tanking? What? People are going to be scared. They're going to be so scared. Freaking out. They're going to freak out even more so. 32K would be support. Money. If you break 200, support. Value trap. But yeah. Yeah, this is something to keep an eye on. Alright, guys. I'm going to end the stream there. I had, almost an hour. I don't want to destroy my voice, because you guys know me, I talk very loud. I don't think they will buy if it goes lower than 60K. Yeah, I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone is saying 50K, everyone's seeing the headlines 50K, so nobody wants to buy, and then it tanks some more, and then we go to 50K, and everyone's like, oh, here we are, 50K, and then we get a relief rally, and then we tank again, or we finally hold there. We'll see. The self-fulfilling prophecy, right? But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. How the hell do I end the stream?